Good evening. You're watching the main news on HKIBC. I'm Janice Lo. Here's a look at tonight's top stories. There's an enthusiastic response for free tickets to visit the first food fair and the Happy Hong Kong campaign. Former officials of a disbanded trade union decide not to stage a rally on Labor Day. And peace hopes in Ukraine have risen following a phone call between President Xi Jinping and his Ukrainian counterpart. There's been a rush for free tickets to visit the first food fair under the Happy Hong Kong campaign, but only 100,000 people can attend the event this weekend. Before the clock struck 8 this morning, hundreds of people had already gathered outside Wong Tai Sin district office. They were there to grab tickets for the first food fair and the Happy Hong Kong campaign. The event this weekend at the Convention and Exhibition Center in Wan Chai is free, but only 100,000 people can attend. Each person is entitled to 2 tickets. At the government offices in Changsha Wan, the queue stretched for more than 100 meters. Although visitors to the only food fair held indoors will not have to pay to get in, they will have to dig into their pockets to buy items. But this man said that's not a problem. He would only buy things that he fancies. This woman was happy that the government has organized such events. They could boost the economy and bring joy to the public, she said. There will be 2 more food fairs, one in Sha Tin in May and the other at the Kwun Tong Promenade in June. Tickets are not required for those events, which will be staged outdoors. The Happy Hong Kong campaign includes Cinema Day on Saturday, when it will cost only $30 to watch a film. Tickets go on sale at box offices and online from 11 a.m. tomorrow. A former leader of the now-defunct Confederation of Trade Unions has withdrawn an application to stage a rally on Labor Day. Joe Wong and former union official Danny To had applied to hold a 500-strong rally next Monday. To wrote on social media that Wong went missing for 4 hours from 7:30 a.m. today. He said Wong was not arrested but appeared to have undergone immense pressure. To added that Wong had signed a paper withdrawing the rally application but could not disclose details because of the national security law. Security Chief Chris Tang, who's visiting Beijing, was asked about the development.
For the reasons of the withdrawal, I think probably you have to ask the individual organizer for the reasons. But I think if someone is unable to ensure the safety of any public order events or to ensure the orderly running of the events, it is a responsible act to withdraw the application. And I understand that police will provide further information about this incident later.
8 people have been arrested on suspicion of conspiring to murder an elderly man in Yuen Long last month. Police also seized 9 knives, a hammer, and gloves. The 74-year-old victim was leaving his home at around 3 a.m. when he was attacked by a knife-wielding man. He suffered severe injuries and died in hospital after losing a lot of blood. Following an investigation, officers arrested 7 men and 1 woman aged between 23 and 65. Some are said to have triad backgrounds. Police did not disclose the motive or the roles the suspects played in the murder, but did not rule out further arrests. Hong Kong's e-toll service is ready to begin operations early next month. This comes as around 82% of all licensed vehicles in Hong Kong have been issued with a tag. Cheryl Yun reports.
The electronic toll system at the Changsha control area will finally make its debut at 5 a.m. on the 7th of May, more than 2 months after its original launch date in February. Since then, the number of vehicle tags issued has doubled.
compared to the 13th of February when we announced the postponement of Hong Kong e-toll. At that time, we have about less than 300,000 vehicle tax issued. Today, we have issued over 660,000.
After the implementation, motorists with tags will have their tolls deducted electronically. If they have no tag or if it is not placed properly, an electronic payment notice will be sent. They should settle the payment within 14 business days or face a surcharge. Once the system is fully functional, there will be no need for toll plazas and manual toll booths. They will be demolished in 2 to 3 months' time. But there will be only 3 lanes in each direction instead of 9. The extra space will be used for other purposes, including an expansion of the bus interchange. The new system covers the Eagle's Nest, Sha Tin Heights, and Tai Wai tunnels. All 3 tunnels will be closed from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. on the 7th of May to facilitate the transition. Cheryl Yun, HKIBC.
President Xi Jinping has held a telephone conversation with his Ukrainian counterpart, Volodymyr Zelensky, raising hopes for peace in the European country. The mainland state broadcaster said the call was initiated by Zelensky. Both leaders exchanged views over the conflict, which began in February last year between Ukraine and Russia. Zelensky said their conversation was long and meaningful. Last month, Xi met Russian President Vladimir Putin shortly after China released a roadmap to peace. In a move that is likely to outrage Beijing, U.S. and Philippine troops have sunk a decommissioned warship in the South China Sea as part of their largest ever joint military exercise.
In every exercise that we do, the objective is really to train. If you are going to be ordered to risk your life for your country, you will have to take every advantage that is available to you. And the advantage that we have is that we have a treaty, we have an obligation to train together.
The exercises in the northwestern coastal town of San Antonio also included missile launches, heavy artillery fire, and airstrikes. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. monitored the drills, which are taking place as the United States tries to bolster its alliances in Asia as a counterweight to China. In Beijing, Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Mao Ning said security cooperation between countries should not target any third party or escalate tensions. Japan's public safety chief has come under fire after admitting that he was so consumed with a delicious bowl of eagle rice that he did not react immediately when the prime minister was attacked a fortnight ago. Koichi Tani told a gathering of the governing party that despite the alert, he kept on eating because he enjoyed the delicacy too much. His remarks triggered concern as Japan makes final preparations for the Group of 7 summit next month. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida rejected opposition demands for Tani's dismissal. Kishida's narrow escape from a pipe bomb attack came less than a year after former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was shot dead while delivering a campaign speech. Property prices in Hong Kong have risen for the 3rd month in a row, reaching a 6-month high with the full reopening of the border. Government figures show that private home prices in March were up 1.4% from the previous month, but it was lower than February's 2.4% gain and down 8% from March last year. Rents rose by a little over 1% last month. Hong Kong stocks have rebounded from a 1-month low, helped by positive quarterly results from industry leaders. Chloe Feng reports.
The Hang Seng Index climbed 0.7% to end a three-session losing streak, with turnover at $97.9 billion. The Hang Seng Tech Index closed up 1.25%, with gaming giant Tencent in the lead, rising nearly 3%. This came despite a main shareholder, Prosus, trimming its stake to less than 26%. The speculation was that Tencent will step up its buyback plan to defend its shares. E-commerce platform JD.com jumped 2.6% and Meituan gained 1.1%. Hong Kong exchanges and clearing also contributed to the rebound. The stock market operator edged up 1.2% after reporting a 28% increase in its first quarter net profit to $3.4 billion. The surge from a year ago was helped by strong market transactions and higher investment income. Standard Chartered jumped over 2% after posting a better-than-expected 9% increase in net profit to $1.2 billion. But the momentum weakened later, and the lender closed 0.8% lower. Power producer Huaneng Power rocketed nearly 9% to a 52-week high. This came after its net profit more than tripled in the first quarter to 2.6 billion yuan from a year earlier. Chloe Fong, HKIBC.
Now let's take a look at the markets. The Hang Seng Index ended the day up 139 points. To the top 10 active stocks, Tencent was up $9.80, while Tracker Fund was up 11 cents. SMIC was down 10 cents, AIA was up $1.10, while BYD Company was also up by $9.80. To the foreign exchange against the Hong Kong dollar, the euro is at 8.66, the pound's turning 9.78, and the Australian dollar is at 5.18. Over in Europe, the London FTSE is currently down 29 points. Tributes have been pouring in following the death of U.S. singer, actor, and civil rights activist Harry Belafonte. He died of congestive heart failure at the age of 96 at his home in New York, Sachin Khetri reports.
Harry Belafonte's Banana Boat song from his breakthrough album Calypso was the first record to sell 1 million copies. Dubbed the King of Calypso, Belafonte was also a talented actor and TV personality. Born to Jamaican immigrants in New York in 1927, the first Black Emmy Award winner who grew up in poverty was also revered as a social activist. He supported the American Civil Rights Movement, becoming friends with Martin Luther King Jr. As United Nations Goodwill Ambassador in 1987, Belafonte raised awareness of the needs of children in sub-Saharan Africa. He was a harsh critic of former U.S. President George W. Bush, denouncing him before Washington invaded Iraq.
That the imperialist interests of the Bush government have now been very much put on the table to expand America's economic, cultural, and political domination of this entire planet.
Belafonte idolized his mother, an uneducated domestic worker. He said she inspired him with her motto, "Always resist oppression." Sachin Khetri, HKIBC.
On to the weather now. Mostly cloudy with a few light showers in the morning. Temperatures will range between 21 and 24 degrees. Expect similar conditions in the lead up to the weekend. That's our main news for Wednesday night. Join us for more news at 11. I'm Janice Lo. Thanks for watching. Good night.